I've broken a bed. No, not in anger, but because I was screaming, jumping, and dancing to Gala Gudia. I was 9 years old and looked less like a Bollywood dancer and more like a malfunctioning windmill in mismatched pajamas. And I weighed barely 30 kgs. So just imagine the amount of energy it took to literally break the stage. I danced everywhere. Not because someone was watching, and not because I was good. Because being alive felt exciting. Because joy spilled out faster than I knew what to do with it. I still dance today, but only at parties where it is dark enough for nobody to see me. Or on stage where every move is rehearsed and every smile measured. I'm no longer present in my performances because they are just that, performances. And that's the interstitium I want to talk about today. The space between performance and presence. The space I sat in at 11:59 p.m. on 28th December 2025, a minute before I turned 16. There was cake, there were decorations, there were people that loved me. I could hear them laughing in the next room while I was on the bathroom floor, crying, wondering where that little wild girl that danced everywhere had gone. She had been replaced by a girl with good grades, a great schedule, and a social life that was so fun. People saw her and thought, oh, she's doing great. And maybe that's why nobody notices when she isn't. But I noticed it as something terrifying hit me. The clock struck 12, everyone sang, Happy birthday! While I felt like I'd already seen enough of the world and wasn't sure I wanted to see more. Yet still, I cut the cake, took the pictures, thanked the guests, performed beautifully. Do you feel like that too? Like an actor in your own life? After the show that I put up, I ran back to my room and cried. I did the only thing I could think of. I picked up a pen and started writing. I wrote messy, half-formed sentences. I wrote about things I didn't even know I felt until the words started coming. I wrote about the weight in my chest that had no name, about the version of myself I was performing every single day, and how exhausted she was. I kept writing even after that night. One poem, 10, 50, eventually 100. And hidden between those pages was someone I had forgotten. Not the performer, not the achiever. Not the version everyone applauded. Just me. Messy, confused, uncertain, human. And surprisingly interesting. But then, another thought hit me. What about all the other Vanyas sitting on their own bathroom floors and muffling sobs at night? The ones constantly asked, how was school? How was the exam? Or what do you want to do in the future? But never, how are you? They all deserved a pause. They all deserved the interstitium that I needed. The most important one. The one between ourselves and ourselves. So I took those 100 poems and I built something around them. Reflection prompts, questions that actually go somewhere. Honest invitations to look inward. I called it what it is. Echoes of a young heart. Your messy manual to becoming life's super user. A companion for those 11:59 p.m. moments, for those bathroom floor nights, and for every person who has felt like too much and not enough at the exact same time. As I met more young people looking for that space, I made the OurCaim, an app for daily self-reflection and emotional well-being. It gives young people like me the tools to pause, reflect, sense our own feelings, and understand ourselves better. I still remember a message from one of our users. Thank you for thinking about me. Now, I will too. So I took it beyond screens, into classrooms, through the Emotionary workshops. I remember asking a classroom full of students a simple question. How do you feel right now? They all seemed hesitant. But then I asked another question. How many of you know how much you scored in your last exam? Every single hand shot up. Okay, now I have a task for you all sitting in the audience. Can you smile the way you would smile looking at your favorite person? Now can you smile the way you would smile for a picture? Wow. But How many of you know what you're hiding behind that picture perfect smile? Hasn't the problem become painfully obvious now? While growing up, we were taught how to measure our worth, but not how to understand ourselves. We know our grades, we know our schedules, we know what colleges we want to get into, but ask us how we feel, and many of us don't have the language to answer. We have mistaken our silence for loneliness, but they are not the same. Loneliness is feeling disconnected from yourself, and silence is often where you find yourself again. I know that now because the only reason I'm standing here today is that one night, alone on a bathroom floor, I chose to reach for a pen instead of more noise. I chose to sit with my silence rather than opening up Instagram. And today, that silence no longer scares me. I told my mother that this speech, the one I gave just now, is not one of my favorites because it doesn't feel like me, doesn't feel like the girl that goes up on stage and makes the audience smile. But maybe that's the point, to show you that there's more to someone than what meets your eye. But no, I'm not asking you to code an app or conduct workshops. Just to create one moment a week where there is no performance required. Just space. Space to be uncertain, messy, human. We spend our lives trying to close the distance between ourselves and others, but forget the most important one, the one between ourselves and ourselves. The distance between who the world applauds and who cries on the bathroom floor. Between looking alive and actually feeling it. Between performance and presence. Every young person deserves to find that space before silence becomes something they fear. Sometimes a pen, a poem, a conversation, an app, a workshop, or even a broken bed become the interstitium that brings you back. Thank you.